What's going on, guys? UFC Critic back here. It's been a long time. Lots happened in MMA, but I'm really excited to kind of chime in a little bit and maybe get back into this a little bit. Haven't had really any time to dedicate to making any YouTube videos, and to be completely honest, there's so many guys out there who are just so good and so proficient at presenting all angles and all sides of a topic and really giving great opinions and just really entertaining guys. So they're all doing really well. Everybody on YouTube, all the UFC, all the MMA guys on YouTube are great, and I'll like to chime in here when I can. There's a number of things that I really wanted to come back to say. The Brock Lesnar, whole Brock Lesnar Shane Carwin thing. I've been on Sherdog a bunch the last month and heard a lot of nonsense about Shane Carwin, and he's the type of guy who's going to take out Brock Lesnar. Let's be serious here. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Shane Carwin is much smaller than Brock Lesnar. I know he's listed around 262, but Shane Carwin he's probably that weight without cutting weight. He's probably a 260-pound man. I can't remember hearing anything about Shane Carwin having to cut significant weight to make the heavyweight limit. Brock Lesnar is a 300-pound mound of muscle, and quite frankly, a more accomplished wrestler than Shane Carwin. Brock Lesnar is a national champion wrestler. He's durable. He's quick. He is not going to be taken down by Shane Carwin. He is not going to be dominated by Shane Carwin in a way that Carwin's able to kind of dominate other guys. He's going to have to deal with the fact that Brock's going to be bigger and stronger than him. Brock's going to be able to take him down, not at will like he did to Mir, but Brock's going to be able to take Shane Carwin down, and Shane Carwin's in a mound of trouble in this fight. This is not going to be a great fight. This is going to be a fight where Brock is going to control the fight. He's going to dominate the fight, and I really sincerely think that this is just, all the hype about Brock losing this fight is just unfounded. It is not going to happen. So I just had to say that all this nonsense, not going to happen. Get it out of here. I'm tired of hearing about it. Brock is going to smash Shane Carwin. Anderson Silva destroys Forrest Griffin. The reason I'm bringing up Anderson Silva is because there's a lot of talk about Anderson fighting potentially, Rampage if he gets by Rashad, maybe Rashad, a guy like that. I think that Anderson Silva, a guy like Rampage, maybe with his wrestling, he could hold Anderson down, pound him, ground and pound him. I think Rampage is great on the feet. I don't think he's as quick as Anderson. I think that would be a better fight than maybe some people do, but I still think that Anderson Silva just has too much. He brings too much to the table to be able to win that fight, or to be able to, lose that fight to Rampage. And to be honest with you, I love the Dan Henderson-Anderson Silva fight. I've heard so much noise about, going on the Sherdog forums and about how Dan Henderson just got his ass kicked against Anderson Silva. Did anybody watch the same fight I did? Because Dan Henderson completely controlled round one, got caught in a compromising position, and Anderson Silva's a monster, a fucking monster. And yeah, Anderson Silva just, he singed in the opportunity to, he got Dan Henderson's back and he choked him out. That's what happens. But Dan Henderson on his game is the perfect fight, the type of fighter, who could really do something against a guy like Anderson Silva. And I think that would be, I would love to see that fight. I think it's an ideal fight. Now, let's transition a little bit. Tito Ortiz coming back. A lot of noise again. Talked about Tito Ortiz. He's not this, he's not that. Tito Ortiz is the perfect type of fighter if his back is right, if his mind is right, if he is the Tito Ortiz that he used to be, which, you know, is very debatable. He hasn't been that in a long time. But if he can come back at 80% of what Tito used to be, he's the type of guy he's a big 205. He's a good wrestler. You know, his striking isn't great, but it's proficient, it's good enough, you know. And I think that Tito Ortiz is a much tougher matchup for a guy like Anderson than people are really willing to give credit for. And there's a lot of Tito hate out there, but I really believe that, you know, why not Tito? If he can get through this next fight against Mark Coleman. Now, that said, Mark Coleman, this is a bad matchup for Tito, I think. You know, a stronger, older guy, but I mean, a better wrestler. I think that this is a tough matchup for Tito, much tougher than people think. At the end of the day, is Mark Coleman going to come out the way he did against Bonner? No, he's a little older. I haven't seen the gas tank that he had against Bonner in a long time. I don't see him doing that 2 fights in a row. I think Tito's going to win this fight. I think he'll wear him out. But this is a tough fight, and this is going to be a tough test for Tito, because it's kind of a lose-lose situation. You know, you beat Mark Coleman, it's like, well, you beat Mark Coleman, but you lose to Mark Coleman, and where do you go from there? So, you know, I think this is a big fight for Tito. He needs to take it, and I think he will. So that's one of the major things, one of the major pieces of news in the upcoming months, and look for that. And transitioning from there, the guy who gave Machida the biggest scare, the biggest test really of his career, Tito Ortiz, let's go to Machida. Machida's fighting Shogun. What is Shogun going to bring to Lyoto Machida? Where does he win this fight? Tell me. I'm waiting. Lyoto Machida is going to destroy, massacre. Just take time to just soak that in. Lyoto Machida is going to massacre Shogun. He is going to kill him. The fact that people are talking about this like this is going to be some fight. You can't hit Machida. That's what Shogun relies on. He relies on the clinch. He relies on, you know, crazy angles, throwing crazy punches. He relies on crazy striking. He relies on knees. He relies on those things. He's not going to hit Machida with them. This is not going to be a good night for Shogun. And I like Shogun, but this is not going to be his night. So, you know, why not a guy like Tito, if he gets through that fight, you know, if he can win a couple more fights, there's a lot of bad matchups for Tito in this 205 division, but why not? So this is me just addressing a few of the prominent, exciting issues in MMA right now, and I really hope to get back to this, doing this, you know, a video every couple of weeks. I won't be doing a Vitor Belfort, Rich Franklin analysis, but I will say that I do think Vitor is going to win this fight by a vicious KO. I've been very impressed with Vitor lately, so look for that. I really believe that Vitor is going to really viciously knock out Rich Franklin. And beyond that, I hope to get back with a full comprehensive card review for I believe the next fight would be the Machida Shogun card. So I will be back for that. With that said, thanks for watching, and I hope I haven't lost too many subscribers since I haven't been around, but I will check you guys later. Take it easy.